to take this. I've got Hollywood squares.
Welcome back to Pop Goes the Culture, the behind-the-scenes TV stories you wouldn't have known from the people who were there. I'm David Levin, and this is part 6 of my talk with sitcom legend Pat Harrington Jr., best known as Schneider on the original One Day at a Time. Today, Harrington reminisces about his relationship with Norman Lear and gives us his thoughts on MacKenzie Phillips' problems during the filming of that beloved sitcom.
So we went into the second season, and that show was in the top 20 for the whole 10 years. We were on 10 years, from 75 to 84. It was never out of the top 20. And it was frequently in top 10, occasionally top 5, and we were number 1 once. And I wound up with my partner, Jimmy Johnson, writing about 12 episodes. And loved it, you know. It was a real experience. It was something that should happen to every actor.
Tell me about the thunder and lightning.
The thunder and lightning.
On the set. Somebody make a mistake, and Valerie Bertinelli or somebody said, "God help me," when she made a mistake. Do you remember this?
Well, that was early on, because Valerie, got acquainted with her talent pretty quick. And those kids, when they came in, McKenzie had some experience. She had done some wonderful film work, and but Valerie was, I think she was 12, and gorgeous, just so cute, and but Bonnie was a Broadway actress, an accomplished dancer in addition. I mean, musicals, and and I at that point had done everything. So two things occur. One, intimidation, and nothing that you are intending, but two, they learned. They both learned. And I'll tell you, I learned from Bonnie. I mean, she came to that table on Monday morning loaded for bear. And after like 6 or 7 of those experiences, I said to myself, this woman is spending the weekend in this script. I got to give it all day Friday. She's spending the weekend in the script. I got to give it at least Saturday. And I just honed in and got to work a little harder, and sometimes the table read was very sparky. They had the writers were writing a lot of malaprops for me, and I said, you're writing into the face of failure. This has already been done. Nobody does them any better than Archie Bunker. What are you playing with that for? Let me just, let me do Schneider. Schneider was a lonely middle-aged guy who had a ready-made family dropped into his building, and he had a thing for Bonnie, which I thought was very cute.
There's a little subtext going on there.
Yeah, for me, not for Ms. Romano. I mean, Ms. Romano, just please, not that man. But I had all kinds of fantasies about that, or rather, Schneider did.
You didn't have a single one.
No.
You were okay.
No. Yeah. I was fine.
It was a really fun, sort of playful thing that you had, and the nice thing is that Schneider's character was so well defined that you knew he was cool with the kids too.
Yeah.
You really put him under his wing as well. Yeah,
I did some of the best work I did on that show was with the kids, and the I can't, his name just flew out of my head. The wonderful young little boy who came in. Yeah, we did some really fine work. He was great to work with. Glenn Scarpelli. He was just wonderful, and eager. As kids are. A lot of and some names that I want to mention are just flying out of my head. But it was a great experience. As I say, it's something that every actor should have. There was no way of predicting how successful the show was going to be, how popular, and the kind of recognition that Schneider would get, you know. But there it is.
Well, you played Schneider on a couple other shows after that, didn't you? You didn't? There was no crossover? Oh, right. No, you played yourself on Roseanne. That was funny.
No. You're right. I did play Schneider on Roseanne. I'd forgotten that. Yes, I forgot that. And I was in the outfit.
That was very funny.
Yeah.
It was very
Wore the outfit.
You were playing yourself, though. Coming in, but you were playing yourself, making a personal appearance as Schneider. You were kind of.
I don't think so.
No, you were playing Schneider?
Yeah,
funny.
I think that's what it was. I mean, I don't really know now. You got me guessing.
Because they play a lot with the old sitcom, you know, with the older sitcoms. And
Who does play that?
And they actually had, you know, they had Gilligan and those guys.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, maybe there was a circumstance created, but as I recall the dialogue, that's the guy who did the building. He was fixes buildings, you know.
Again, we're not going for the negative. We're not the True Hollywood Story. We're not doing that stuff. But there were certain things that people know about. For example, when McKenzie left the show, and if there's a way to talk about how that impacted the show, I don't want to get into the whole thing of what her situation was. But obviously, when someone leaves a show for whatever reason, it does impact creatively on the show.
Sure.
You want to talk about what that was like?
Yeah. Let me explain the dynamic. The people who really suffered for what was going on in McKenzie's life were Bonnie and Valerie, because I had no scenes with her to speak of. No, there was no, you know, it was all with Bonnie and Valerie, and they could see the deterioration, which I looked at, you know, and said, well, this is just the high life being lived by a very young, successful, talented child who's, you know, and I said, well, that happens. I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea the depth of it and the spread of it in McKenzie's life. And I remember when I was on tour with Timmy Conway, we were doing The Odd Couple, and we got to we got to St. Paul. There's a wonderful theater there, and she came to see me. She was doing the Mamas and Papas in a state fair, and I saw how badly she looked, you know, and she's carrying a baby, and there's nothing you can really say. I mean, there's nothing you could say to help, and you want to, you know, you want to help, but you don't want to make a fool of yourself, nor do you want to alienate. And then the next time I saw her, she had reinvented herself. It was on a show for her, and I was a surprise guest. And she was lean and mean and trim and short hair bobbed. Face was just absolutely gorgeous. I was staggered. You know, look what this kid has done. She's grabbed herself by the scruff of her neck, pulled herself up, and started her all over again. I mean, she looked terrific. And of course, after that, she got a bunch of shows and so forth, and reinvented herself. That takes an extraordinary amount of willpower and courage and intelligence.
Good for her.
Yeah. But getting back to the show, it was Bonnie and Val who I didn't know about it. Nobody wanted to, you know, say, you know what's going on here, don't you? I mean, I'd heard that, yeah, but everybody did drugs. I mean, they were all doing drugs, you know.
Sometimes the drugs did them.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say though, I mean the kids that she hung around with, Valerie, to my knowledge, never touched the stuff, and Bonnie wouldn't.
So they basically, they took her off the show for a while, they brought her back, and then let her go again.
Yeah.
And the show had to evolve during those periods, obviously. I mean, Julie was sent off to college, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the storyline. I know that Valerie's a romance with
Mark. I think the character's name was Mark.
Mark, yeah, Barnes, wasn't his name?
I guess.
Yeah, I
should know this.
well, you know, I'm at the age where I don't mind when I don't miss names.
Right.
I can't find my I've lost 6 pair of glasses in the last week. No, that's a lie.
I lost mine the other day.
Did you?
I went with sunglasses all day long. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It happens, but you that shouldn't be happening to you. You're a young man.
Well, that's what they say, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm aging prematurely. That's it for today's show. Tomorrow, the conclusion of my archival interview with Pat Harrington Jr. when he talks more about One Day at a Time. I tell him how Eddie Van Halen broke my heart. And before we parted, Harrington gave me the compliment of a lifetime. You know my mom will want to see that. See you then. Thanks for watching. Ever dreamt of being a talk show host? Then tune in to Ask Them Yourself most Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific.